Hey everybody, welcome into the shop, and we have not been in here in so long because of cold, because of rain, and today's a perfectly sunny day. I know I shouldn't even be in the shop today. I will be outside enjoying the sunshine tomorrow, but it's been a long time since we undertook a restoration project. In fact, the Motorola restoration, it's now in the house, the Motorola 1960 21 tube stereo console, 3-channel stereo console, was the last one that we really undertook a thorough restoration. Now it's time to get on to restoring one of the really vintage pieces, the 1959 Pioneer SM-Q300B, one of the ones that had the multiple pre-stereo where you could tune in an AM station and an FM station and get sort of what I call pseudo-simulated stereo. Worked okay. About 100 stations participated in that in the late 1950s and early 60s. It's a unit that can power up, but I'm getting nothing out of it, so we're going to start the restoration process today, and I think that you'll enjoy being along. And the first thing I always like to do is test our tubes and see what our tubes look like. And this unit, this SM-Q300B, has a forest of vacuum tubes in it. Let's get it out here, let's get it on the bench, and let's get going. We already determined, if you saw the vintage audio spotlight on the SM-Q300B, you already saw that we got power just fine to the unit, which means that the transformer is working well. That's about all we know right now on here. We don't know anything about outputs or anything else. So after I've done a visual inspection on a unit, and I've not opened up the bottom plate, yes, and yes, I know it's as dirty as can be. I know, we'll address that, but that's cosmetic stuff. It's not going to affect what's going on with the operation. So the first thing I like to do when I'm repairing a tube unit is to, after I've done my visual inspection, I like to get my tube tester out. We've got a forest of tubes here to check out, and some of them, like the 12AX7, the preamp tubes, they're actually two tubes in one, so we have two different ways that we have to test a single tube. Okay, so we're going to start over here in the output section. And we've had some red plating on this 6B-Q5 here, which is EL84 tube, which is our big output tube here. We're going to start with this and check it out. And little by little, we're going to go through and test our tubes. Okay, so we have our booklet here, and we'll talk about the testing tubes. Is pretty straightforward. We put our 6B-Q5. We understand what the tube is. It's written on there. It's also written on the, it's also inscribed into the chassis on the top of it. So we turn our book to where we get the 6s. And we see the 6B-Q5. And we see right here that this is going to be in filament D, and it's going to be in socket number 1 there. So we're going to take this, and we're carefully, don't bend the pins. We're going to stick that in socket 1. We're going to plug in the unit. Okay, we got that turned on. We're going to turn on the unit in a minute. Right now, got that turned on. And then for the 6B-Q5, it tells you want to turn the filament to the D. Up here is the D. You have A, B, C, D. We want to turn that to the D. We want to put it on the delta here. Type delta in socket number 1. We want to put the selector on number 2. Over here, and I'm just following the guidelines in the book here, the 6B-Q5. And then we want to put the sensitivity on 35, which we have there. And then we want to disregard any lights that light up of 1, 5, 6, and 8. Okay, so All right, so we're gonna do our test. We're gonna push now. It's disregard in number 1 position. We already see the light is lit up there, so we want to disregard. Let's go to number 2. We should not have any problem with the light. Okay, so we disregard that one there. Okay, and change the battery in the camera. Turn that to 3. We have no light, which is good. 4, we have no light. 5 should light up and we disregard it. There it is, lit up. 6 should light up and we disregard it, and we don't have it lit up in 6. Also in 8 should light up and we should disregard that. So it looks like there's a problem with the 6BQ5, that output tube that was red plating here. So let's just see if we let's go through and test the other ones. We'll stick that on the side now. And yeah, that is lit up and that is getting really hot. We have our second 6BQ5. We're going to let that warm up a little bit. And we're going to turn through the whole sequence. 1 should be lit up, which it is. 2 should not be, and it is. 3 should not be lit up, and it's not. 4 should not be lit up, and it's not. 5 should be lit up, and it is. 6 should be lit up, and it's not. 7 should not be lit up, and 8 should be lit up. So it looks like these 6BQ5 output tubes have a little bit of a problem here. Well, that didn't take long, huh? As soon as we replaced those 6BQ5 EL84s, we instantly brought the unit to some sound life here. If you listen, it's not much, but it's a start. You can hear how scratchy everything needs work on this. Everything.
Paradigm. I'm still their winemaker after 25 years. They're my longest client since '91. The next longest would be the Lamborns. I've had them.
And I'm just running on AM on this side over here.
I work for Fantesca up on Spring Mountain. I've had them since '08, so one of my newer clients. And then Kenzo Estate up in
How do you have the time or the energy? And I'm sure you've heard that question before.
Sometimes I wonder that myself. You know, I don't.
That's our really strong local station, KSRO.
Keep busy, keep moving forward, work on.
And we're getting no boost in output here.
Sometimes I can kind of go forward depending on the location. Fortunately, they don't all have their own winery buildings, so I really go to 4 locations with those brands.
Balance works
I have to
okay.
think about where I can go in a day during harvest. I have to be able to go and taste all the tanks every day. So I can get to 4, but I would. There's no.
Yeah, I'm getting it. I'm not getting it on this side. There, I picked up a little bit of FM. You hear that? Don't mind me, I'm just poking around. Just gonna get the output. Hot. Picking up a lot of signals. All right. I was a little eager to just change those output tubes and see if we had any immediate response. And we did. This thing is not red plating at all anymore, which is good. Or getting so hot you could make steel. Making me think now, we're not getting any crazy static, so we don't probably have what's called silver migration on some of the intermediate frequency cans here. I'm not going to go all in depth on that, but they're needed to produce certain set frequencies, and sometimes the capacitors use a little silver mica. They use a mica wafer, and over time you can have some arcing that occurs because the silver moves on the mica and it can cause some popping and crackling. I'm not really getting that. I'm suspecting I probably have some bad big electrolytic capacitors here, so I'm not getting the output. But I would say it's a fine first day for starting, so I'm going to test some more tubes. I'm thinking the more I keep working this control, this volume control, and keep lubricating it, the better it's getting in here. Get a little more of the scratchiness, but obviously we've lost our ability on the output here to really have full power. I guess I shouldn't be lazy. I should go through and do all the tube testing. I just get a little anxious to mess around. Let's turn this side off. Let's see if we get anything on A. Really don't get anything on AM. Let me see if I put the antenna here. I'm sure I'm on the right thing. Let's try it on the other side here. Yeah, I get plenty AM over here.
And you know, it was on a very industrial location in San Diego on Highway 29, and as most of us can all attest, was quite the eyesore.
What the hell? Why would that be on phono?
Kind of industrial construction. So when the Halls purchased the land and proposed that they would be, you know, redeveloping it, you know, they got a applause, you know, from all the locals. But then when they
so I'm on the wrong damn one. That's why.
And sure enough, they were true to their word.
That's weird, huh?
Right there, you can go check it out, and they do tours, tastings, and also, I believe, rent it out for special events.
Another one you touched upon is Gatto Historic Winery and Wine Cave.
Son of a bitch.
Absolutely. This one is rather cool. It is their Napa property, so over there on Atlas Peak Road.
What the hell, now I'm on FM. Phono side here. What the hell is with these what the hell? What the hell is going on? What the hell?
The Exploration of Ghost Wineries event, Saturday, March 25th.
Well, changing that output tube sure did the job. These output tubes. But I'll tell you, the controls, I gotta be a Houston mission control guy to figure this out. This thing is hot though, it is picking up everything. Get balance here. Not anything over on that side. Alright, we got a lot of work to do, but we made some headway, the hard way, I'd call it. She's hot though, damn, she is hot. Still got some more cleaning to do, but wow. Oh, I feel kind of guilty having you guys do this with me real time, but this is what restoration and repair is all about. I know cosmetically it looks like hell in here. I know that, but it's like a car. If a car is not running properly, who cares what it looks like? Who cares how beautiful it is? It's all about what's under the hood. Well, it's the same darn thing here. And restoration and repair work is a lot of fiddling here and doing stuff there and trying different things. You want to always start with the simplest things and work down to the most complicated. You'll see people that'll just go in and they'll get a set like this to restore, and they'll just start willy-nilly changing out capacitors and resistors, and before you know it, they've put an electrolytic capacitor in backwards. And then they can't trace it down because they did 50 of them at one time instead of doing one at a time, powering it up, testing, then doing another one. They do it all at one time, and then they're screwed at that point. They have 50 different things. You can do the probability calculation of factorials. There's now 60 million combinations of stuff that went wrong in the set. Forget about it. Start with the simple things first, and I know it's kind of, I'm here surprised about a lot of things that's going on. The control mechanism of this is strange to me. To have two AMs and then to have the FM come on when the auxiliary is on. Well, maybe that's the way it's designed. You put it on auxiliary so the FM comes on the other side. The real handicap here is, the beauty is I have a schematic which has the whole electrical layout of what I need, and that's fine. But this is light years ahead in terms of replacing some parts in here and components. But what I'm missing is a shop manual and an owner's manual, the simple owner's manual that says turn this to auxiliary, then turn it to FM. I don't have any of those things whatsoever. So the consequence is you have a long video here, but you enjoy being along with the process, maybe, and seeing me muck around and try this and try that. But I'm also making progress. I'm lubricating controls. We're getting output now. We changed out. We had some nice Svetlana Russian 6BQ5 EO84s. I've changed them out. Do a little more thorough testing on these other ones here. Hopefully we've solved the red plating. We want to do a few more things today though before we pack it in on our first day of effort here. We want to test the I tube to see if that's working. That's the thing that opens and closes when we get stations in. But we can't really do that till we try to do a little more on cleaning the controls here, because the controls are so critical with what's going on inside of the set that you can think that there's other problems, when in reality your volume control is what's inhibiting your output, or your balance control is corroded and you're not getting it. You think, oh, I lost a channel, I lost an output channel or something like that. No, you didn't. You had a very corroded control potentiometer, the knobs on the front here. Now, I've read horror stories that people have tried to totally remove these we'll call them volume knobs and balance knobs, and when they go to take it out, there's like 500 little springs and detents, and it's over for them. We're not going to do that. We're going to go as far as we can, but we're not going to be anal retentive when it comes to doing this set, because these control knobs are irreplaceable. Okay, that's my soapbox rant for the day. So let's get on with the show here. All right, I've had to remove the I-tube, the 6G E12A. You can see right there, and that's the one that has the very complicated, for two sides, the I-tube for tuning in stations. We know it basically works. We don't know if it functions, though. We know it lights up. So I had to get that out of the way because I need to get down here and do some more lubricating in these controls. I have a feeling this is so much of the problem. So much of what I've read about these units says, you know, they're built like tanks, but they're only as good as the controls down here. So I'm going to get in here and try to get some lube into the balance. Wish they had some of these with much longer straws on them. Very hard to get into these little holes here. And I'm going to work that back and forth and pray. Otherwise I have to drill tiny holes in the unit to let lube in, and then you know what happens? Those microscopic metal flakes just wear down the control and you're worse off than ever before. So we really don't want to do that. But that's the worst case scenario. Gonna get some more in this volume control while I'm at it, while I have the chance now. Down here with that open a little bit. That's good. I get a good spray in there. Okay, and that's working. This contact cleaner actually will clean the corrosion off and give you a much better contact. I can feel that volume control is working better now. The balance here is going to be a little more problematic, so we just have to hope for the best and keep working that there. Got some more here too. Okay, that's our stereo blender, whatever the hell that is. Like I say, if you don't have an owner's manual, you're really kind of screwed. You know, a service manual, I haven't gotten my hands on one yet, so I'm just flying by instinct here right now. We're going to clean up this I-tube right away and put it back in so we don't wreck that. I have a feeling that's a super expensive tube when you're talking about a two-sided one here. So I'm going to get the Windex and a nice soft one. There's Missy Jen. She's happy as hell I'm not in the house anymore, on the kitchen table, mucking around, huh?
Thank goodness.
Playing our little electronic games out here.
That's right. We got sunshine outside, finally.
And Missy Jen's very happy when I'm not in the house and I'm out here. And
that's right.
We're working it. I'm still working on the controls a little bit and trying to adjust the output and play around. But Missy Jen, there's signs of life anyway.
It's alive.
1959. So.
That was just a couple years before me, eh?
Yeah, so 10 years.
Before me existence, eh?
10 years and 1 year after me, right? So
nice.
I'm just mucking around a little bit here, so.
So sure, it's a nice piece of
having
equipment.
Fun. There's a lot of stuff I want to test that I haven't had a chance to yet, but one thing at a time.
That's right. Well, happy working on that, and I'm gonna go back out there in Mother Nature and do some.
Yeah, enjoy some sunshine. Tomorrow's my day for sunshine. All right, honey. Thanks for stopping in.
Yep, my pleasure.
All right.
Have a good day, y'all, on YouTube as well. Love yous. Come here, Rosie, go give me a kiss.
There we go. All right, enjoy the sunshine. All right, the more I clean the controls, the better it gets. Surprise, surprise, right? But I'll tell you, the big surprise here is how hot, I've said it before, I cannot believe how hot this radio is. By hot, I mean without much of an antenna. Picking up a lot of stuff here. I've still got a balance issue with plenty of output though. I think it's just DX and it's bringing in stations
Smoke
like
shop
crazy.
in the bright building on Santa Rosa Avenue. So no matter what.
I'll tell you, by far, this is the hottest receiver I've ever worked on for bringing in stations. By far.
One of the best centers in France for gastronomy.
Unbelievable. Strange this goes, normally we start at 88 I think on a lot of the modern FM because there's nothing really down here, the low end. Still got crap to clean out. Onward and onward. Just thought I haven't even looked at the iTube yet.
Daddy gave life to Mama's dream.
What, babe?
Oh, you were recording?
Yeah, you're always welcome. There's
It's gonna be 63 and sunshine all day
That's
long.
beautiful. So tomorrow we'll have a chance to get some sunshine. Today, made good progress on the unit here. How's it sound?
If I could just come in, I swear I'll leave.
Woo!
Won't take nothing
Well,
but
we just got to get some sound
Yeah,
out of the other two-sided channel output here. So I want to let this cool down for a minute. I want to pull this tube to see what's going on. This has been very problematic, this section of the output section here. You got the 6BQ5 EL84s. We changed them out for the Russian jobs there, and they're being driven by the 6AN8 here. And I'm suspecting maybe, I haven't checked this 6AN8. I should probably go ahead and replace the other tubes here. And I haven't done that. Might just, as long as I'm here, just kind of replace the whole complement over here. You know, so not to do a half-ass job. Sometimes you can be real frustrated. You're messing around, you're on the volume dial, you're lubricating everything that you can think to lubricate, the balance, the stereo normal, the stereo reverse, whatever the hell that is. All your basic controls and all your loudness on and loudness off. And you're thinking to yourself, why do I ever need to mess around with the tape monitor? And as soon as, you know, I was getting very low volume, and as soon as I started fiddling with that, all of a sudden, boom, the volume came crackling through. So Well, go figure. That's something else that's got to be lubricated and clean too. Then we're going to call it a day. Still so blown away at how hot this receiver is.
Must finance through NMAC and take from new dealer stock. Offers end February.
Just makes me.
It's just incredible.
Viértete ese samán.
That hot? That thing is just so
on
hot.
the house now.
Amazing low price.
Where's Paradise Sushi and Grill?
3 locations.
Hey, it's Sue Bonzel saying a big thank you to everybody at Sinorama in Santa. 3, the Bull.
DJs, Sonoma County Bathworks is known for fine towels and rugs, as well as their own body.
Well, there it is. That's a good first day's effort. We came into the shop with basically a dead receiver. We've got some understanding of how it works now, just from trial and error. And it's starting to sound pretty good. We changed a few output tubes. We still have to see why we're not getting balance here on the balance side. Something's going on. We're going to figure that out. I don't think that that's going to be too challenging a problem, but it's been a fun day and we made a lot of progress. So we'll be back in the shop soon to keep working on the SM-Q300B to 1959 Pioneer AM/FM shortwave receiver. Thanks for being along.
Rama, Rama, my God.
Attaches.